Ooowee, y'all. It is DB Bray from the Chronicles, and I'm glad everybody is showing up. This session is brought to you by Mobile Business Card. And they are the key to our survival as writers and book reviewers and business people in regards to being able to transfer our information directly from a business card, which is electronic, and you tap it and all your contacts, videos, everything you got goes into that person's phone, and they can lock you in. That way they don't have to touch paper, you don't have to get near them. Perfect way for social distancing. So tonight we'll be having a guest come in from Scotland, and they'll be coming on, I think it's about 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock their time on Saturday night. So I've been grinding all day, family's in town, so just gonna do a quick live, and then I'm gonna be rolling out. So hope everybody's having a good time. This person is a marketing genius, so if you want to know anything about marketing, this is the individual you want to see. So if you need some marketing ideas, we'll be talking about marketing for about a half hour, and then they're also a post author, anthology, and they're going to be the head of the Scottish Writers Association, which the SWA is kind of the biggest deal in that country. That's like being the head of the fantasy, or like the head of the urban lit genre for societies. So it's a big deal. So they'll be coming on here shortly, and let me see if I can send them a quick link. Hey, Val. We'll be going here shortly. Oh, here it is. All right. Wendy,
Hi,
can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Oh, so you must
Welcome
be,
to Scotland.
yeah, you must be from southern Scotland.
I'm classed as North Scotland. I'm northeast, but I'm literally just the north.
Oh, okay. That accent is discernible. Uh,
Right. My accent is because I was in the military for 23 years.
ah,
So
so,
I haven't got a very strong Scottish accent anymore. It's strong to you, but it's not as strong.
yeah, and you did 17 years as an officer, and I mean, there's a whole plethora of information about you. But
Absolutely.
you're known to be a marketing genius.
Uh,
Um, with
I,
in regards to the fact that if you pull up any of your information, it's all about marketing and writing. And I definitely really want to talk to you about that, or whatever you'd like to talk about. The first question I have for you, since my narrator from Ireland just showed up, Carl Hickok,
yeah.
um, how do you like haggis? Is that a dish that you'll eat?
I love haggis. Love,
Oh,
love. Unfortunately, I've had to go on a gluten-free diet because I've got celiac disease, so I can't eat it anymore,
oh, I've never
which is
had
a
it.
shame because I love it. I really love it.
Can you, for those people that have never even heard a Scottish accent that are going to be listening to this, can you explain what haggis is to the folks that are going to be watching this?
It's food. Traditionally it was a sheep's stomach that was filled with lamb's mince and um, spices and oatmeal, and I'm not entirely sure they still use sheep stomachs for it. I think they use something less less irritating to people.
Do you know where that comes from? Where, why a sheep's stomach? Why would they?
Sorry, where did the sheep's stomach come from? It was years and years ago when they were running around the hills and we were, fighting with the English. We would actually, eat haggis because haggis is lovely. And it's easy to carry because you can carry it in the sheep's stomach. And
That's
that's probably how it started. The sheep's stomach would have been a container at one point.
yeah, yeah. Gotta love the Scots. So let's dispel the rumors that Americans are known to fall into. Let's talk Braveheart, and let's talk the actual versus the movie.
Yeah,
Because everybody doesn't really know the real story of William Wallace. They know Braveheart, and they know
yeah.
nothing of William Wallace. So, could you just do a quick overview, being an ex military, exactly what the battle to liberation meant to you in the army hundreds of years before you joined?
Well, to be honest, we're a feisty lot in Scotland. We really are, and we really don't like the English telling us what to do. So
Neither did the Irish.
any chance we had to go to battle with them, we went to battle with them. If anybody English is listening to this, I love you. Okay, it wasn't the English per se that was the problem. It was the government.
It was Longshanks.
It was the landed gentry who were trying to take our land, and that's
Right.
what it's all about. And who wants anybody taking their land? Let's face it, we don't want that. So, and in a lot of cases, they were taking the land to put sheep in there, and we're not very fond of sheep. In the north of Scotland, they're not very fond of sheep because they were clearing the land to take the land to put sheep on it, you know,
Okay.
whereas people farm it and do crofts and things. So we like a nice battle up here, you know. Yeah, let's go to fight a war. Let's have another one with the English.
So does William Wallace still hold a place in Irish in Scottish society, or is he just kind of a side note?
It's part of our history. He's part of our psyche. He's part of our background and who we are. But we don't really talk about William Wallace or anything a lot. Not unless the English start to upset us again, and then I'm joking. The English will be writing into you, going, "Where did you get this woman from?"
You're known for your humor as well, on top of everything else.
Yeah.
And basically, the only people I know that would have any idea how many accents or dialects are there of Scottish?
There are a lot, because the accent I've got, okay, my accent's different because I was abroad for so long. I lived abroad for many years. I was in the army and the navy, and I can talk frightfully because I was an army officer, you know. So my accent, whereas in Dundee, where I live, there'll be one accent. If you go to Forfar, which is like 15 miles up the road, they'll have a totally different accent and use different words. Dundonian is a language all unto itself, and I'll give you some Dundonian just so you understand. You won't understand, but hey, it doesn't matter. You can, it's Afi, isn't it? I wouldn't be able to be here every Dundee Dundonian.
Is that an English dialect? Like, is that actually? Are you speaking
English? Everything I said was English. Yeah, there wasn't one foreign word in there. But nobody really talks like that anymore in Dundee. Okay. They did in the past, but we do have our own accents. But we don't tend to talk Dundonian, although we will use Dundonian words. Now, for example, my first book, which is called Killer's Countdown, when it came on the back in the blurb, I've got that a body has been found on the Law Hill. Now, we have a big hill in the middle of Dundee. It's an extinct volcano. It's really extinct. We drive trains and things through it, or we did in the past, you know. You can walk through it, you know, on the old train tracks. But it's not actually called the Law Hill. It's called the Law, because law is the old Dundonian word for, or Scottish word for, hill. And so we don't call it the Law Hill in Dundee. And when I brought my first book out, all the people from Dundee were going, "Wendy, you do know it's not called the Law Hill, don't you? It's called the Law." And I kept saying, yes, but if people are reading this from Forfar or the north of Scotland or Glasgow or America or Australia, and I say there's been a body found on the Law, it means nothing to them.
Right.
So fine.
Okay.
So this thing, yeah.
So people are familiar with Glasgow here. I think they think that a lot of people think in America that that's the only city that you have.
No, they've heard of Edinburgh as well.
Oh, they've heard of Edinburgh as well. Okay, we've got two. Yeah. And how many?
They've all heard of Edinburgh Castle, so you know everybody's heard of Edinburgh Castle. So they've heard of, and the Royal Military Tattoo and the festival, Edinburgh Festival. So they know Edinburgh, they know Glasgow. Yeah.
I listen to Scotland the Brave when I write.
Oh yes, Scotland the Braves are great.
Yeah, I listen to the bagpipes on repeat during epic battle scenes.
Oh, fabulous. So do you write books set in Scotland, or you just use it to get you in the mood?
Just in the mood. I'll play Irish folk music, and then I'll go with like Tiffany from the 80s. I think we're alone now. I'll listen to that a lot on repeat. some hip hop, but you know,
Yeah.
be that as it may. So you are the
Bagpipes are
first.
always good for a battle scene. If you want to go into battle, play some bagpipes. The Scots are right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best part of it. So, in your opinion, Scotland is a very beautiful place. Been around for a long, long time. Before Brian Boru. What do you think most people get wrong about Scotland?
Well, first of all, if you go abroad, everybody goes, "Oh, you're from England." No, I'm from Scotland, because they think the UK is England.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
and
four
they
other
don't
countries.
want to be rude. I just explain that I'm from Scotland, which is a different bit of the UK. Or they'll say, "Oh, so Scotland's in England." No, Scotland's not in England. No, we're a different country,
Yeah,
but we're part of the United Kingdom. But
right,
to be honest, there will be things I get wrong about America, just because I don't know. I don't know, have enough background to know that.
right.
So what else do they get? They think, to be honest, I'll tell you this, right? In Scotland, our biggest export is whiskey. Okay, so they all think we drink whiskey all the time. Why not? But our second biggest export, not many people know this, is crime fiction.
Crime fiction.
Crime fiction.
Yep.
Crime fiction is huge in Scotland. So the rest of the world thinks we're a bunch of drunken murderers because all we do is sit around drinking whiskey and killing people in books. So,
Or in real life.
not in real life. Although I do live in Dundee, which is, before I put everybody off coming to Dundee, it's an absolutely amazing place, yeah? And it's the safest houses. But it's the murder capital of Scotland. Now, that doesn't mean we've got a lot of murders. It means we're quite small, and per capita, we've got more murders than the rest of Scotland. But they're not for targeting tourists. It's usually people that know each other killing each other for silly reasons,
Yeah.
But that's our claim to fame. We're the murder capital of Scotland.
So you're the first Scot, and you're the first Scot from the murder capital of Scotland, and you are known to. You are known to write mysteries. You are known to write. You're the president of the SWA, which, for those of you that don't know, that is basically being the head of the presidency here in the fantasy. What do we call it? The SFA.
Science fiction,
Yeah,
right? America or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
SFWA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, you're the president of the Scottish Writers Association, which basically incorporates all the writers in Scotland.
Yeah, pretty much. Anybody, obviously, but
you've got some amazing writers out of Scotland.
Oh yeah.
And is there a way for those folks to come on this show too, to showcase?
Absolutely. I mean, people are very keen to be interviewed and things, and I can certainly speak to people and give them your name.
Right.
I've got some really amazing friends. I've got a lot of friends who are really amazing writers. Yeah, we've got some phenomenal writers here. We've got a huge, excuse me, I'm going to have a drink.
Whiskey or water, Wendy?
Well, that's not water. It's not whiskey. It's tea. We're big tea drinkers as well.
Oh, yeah.
Even I'm not drinking whiskey, or I'd be speaking to you. We have a long literary tradition.
That wouldn't be the first time.
A huge literary tradition in Scotland. So we come from a long list of writers. The first library in Scotland, the first public lending library in Scotland, was founded in 1680, and it's about 25 miles away from me. So we're really keen on literacy, we're really keen on reading. And that lending library, which is called Innerpeffray Library, you wouldn't want to say that after you'd had some whiskey, I tell you, Innerpeffray. The people that borrowed the books weren't just the landed gentry. There were shepherds, there were farmers, there were gamekeepers, maids that worked in houses. They all borrowed the books because they could read. And these books are not the light novels we read today. We're talking some heavy tomes that were in that library to start with. Heavy in both ways, heavy to read and heavy to pick up.
Yeah.
I went to visit last Saturday, so I got myself and my aunt got a personal guided tour of the library. It was amazing. Amazing.
So in the Scottish history that you have, that goes back to even when scribes first started working, 9th, 10th century? You're talking like way, way, way
Oh,
back.
yeah. We would have had monks and things doing things like that, long before we had monks on, and it's completely gone out my head, the name of the island, but it'll come back to me in a minute. We had monks there right from the very beginning, and they would have been scribes. We're really keen on literacy and reading in Scotland. Our first minister, Nicola Sturgeon, is very keen on reading and promotes literacy and reading at all times. She even interviews people at the Edinburgh International Book Festival.
Oh wow, yeah. You guys, are you
yeah.
guys going to be hosting Worldcon? I know it just was. They just did Dublin. What, last year, the year before?
Did they? Oh, they did. You're right. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
It was last year. Yes, they did. I don't know if we're hosting it or not. I would need to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That would be awesome. It's the one country on my bucket list.
Come visit.
Yeah.
We're very friendly, honestly. Even if I do live in the murder capital of Scotland, you won't get killed.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm not. I'm in a pretty violent place myself, so the Scots don't really. That doesn't intimidate me at all. So you've written multiple series. Let's go through those so that those folks that are watching can know. What is the? I know you do. I know you do mysteries. I know you do marketing, which is, I'm going to pick your brain for the next 30 minutes on marketing.
Yeah.
But in your opinion, do you think that your mysteries are more the love of your life, or is it more the marketing side?
Well, I've actually got 5 different series. So there are 2 different mystery series, 3 different mystery series. Now, the mystery, there's 2 for adults. One is gritty mystery. One is humorous mystery, a bit like Janet Ivanovich's Stephanie Plum series, but set in Scotland. And one is a young adult mystery series for children. So that's a bit famous. I can't say famous 5 because you're in America. No, I discovered when I was on tour there last year, nobody knew what I was talking about. It's Nancy Drew. Nancy Drew meets Scooby-Doo.
Oh, yeah, that's the yeah. I saw that.
Knows what I'm talking about when I say that. Nancy Drew or the Hardy Boys meets Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. You'd be a little hard pressed.
When I said the famous 5, everybody was looking a bit puzzled, and I thought nobody knows what I'm talking about.
I do.
But that's the young ad. And then I've got a children's picture book,
mm-hmm.
which is called Bertie the Buffalo, which is just a little buffalo that's running around causing havoc. And it's based on a true story.
Okay.
Of a baby water buffalo that ran away in Scotland. So seriously, it all happens in Scotland. It's a place to be at. But I love writing fiction because I like writing them both. It's difficult to say one or the other because I love writing fiction because it brings so much joy to people. People enjoy them. Okay, like every author, I'm not got 100% hit rate on everybody liking my books because there's always it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your name is or how good you are. Somebody's going to not like it, But on the whole, people really, really enjoy the books. I've got a big fan base and my books sell well. So I love the fact that I can bring joy and enjoyment and that people are going, when's the next book coming out? But also my non-fiction, I love that I've got 2 books out. There's one on marketing and one's called Motivation. So one's called Motivation Matters and the other's called Marketing Matters. They're both for writers. And I love doing them because it means I can help other writers and I can help them develop as writers. So it's a joy to do both, really.
Yeah, I mean, in this country, it's a large country, but to be the head of the SWA is not taken lightly. It's not like somebody just decides to abdicate. You really have to earn that position.
Yeah.
So what was the process in that?
Well, the Scottish Association of Writers, they have a president for 5 years usually, and I wasn't even on the committee, to be honest, but I went to their conferences and I knew what they did. And I was approached by them and said, we're looking for the next president and we'd like you to apply. And I went, okay. So I applied thinking this will go nowhere because, someone bigger than me will come along. And to my surprise and amazement, I was voted in at the AGM, so there I was, president of the Scottish Association of Writers, and I've done 2 years. To be honest, I'm going to go down in history, not because, for 2 reasons. The first one is the first year I did the conference, it was the 50th anniversary of the Scottish Association of Writers. So I had to do a conference that was bigger and better because it was an anniversary. Anyway, everybody enjoyed it. They had a great time. And they said, oh, Wendy, this has been the best conference ever. Even presidents from before were saying, oh my goodness, you've done really well, previous presidents. Well, the second year I had to cancel the conference for COVID.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've done the 50th anniversary and I've cancelled the conference. I mean, really, what am I going to do next year to top that?
Have it. Do you get fantasy writers from America coming over there to do that conference? I mean, it's a big conference. So do you guys normally
we haven't had anybody come from, for a start, we do get Americans come, we do get Canadians come to the conference. However, in order to come to our conference, you have to be a member of the Scottish Association of Writers. And to be a member of the Scottish Association of Writers, you need to be a membership of a group in Scotland, a writing group. However, it's very easily done because you can join as an associate, not associate member. You can join as a member, but a remote member, and you could join. So you could join my writing group if you wanted, which is called City Writers. That's just for example. You can join any of them. So you can join a group and just be a member where you do it by post, or you join them on Zoom, or when we were meeting physically, you couldn't really go to the meetings. Although I've got someone who lives in America who comes to our meetings when she's in Scotland on holiday. So we've got a member, So it does happen. So Americans do come. I don't think we've had anybody fantasy writers come, but hey, you could be the first.
Young adult fantasy, yes, a little bit, but crime fiction is what I'm known for. Is the crime?
Oh, right.
Yeah. The Prohibition era, Scottish, Irish.
I saw that. Yeah.
They're a little bloody. Which fit right at home with you, Wendy, being in the murder capital of Scotland, which is great.
Oh yeah, listen, we like gritty crime. We love a nice murder in Scotland. Seriously, in a book, I might add. But before you think we're going around murdering people, we do like a book with a nice murder in it. We're a bit gory. I'll tell you something that happened to me. I was doing a book signing. It was at a big Christmas fair, and they said, would you do a book signing? I said, yes, I'll do it. So I went. And the stall next to me, they were saying, I was explaining that I'd been to Brechin. I said, do you know what? I said, I don't know how many book signings I've done in Brechin. I said, but every time I do it, I sell loads of books. I said, and I wouldn't have thought there was a person left in Brechin that hadn't read my books. And because Brechin's small, I said, they must have all my books several times. But anyway, I said, the thing is, they must like a nice dead body, a nice murder in Brechin. And at that, somebody that was walking past went, I'm from Brechin and we do like a nice dead body in Brechin. I was like, oh my goodness.
Should I sign the book to that?
They meant in a book, I hope.
So the marketing side of it, Wendy, for you is I know I'm going to get a copy of it, but what do you basically talk about in that marketing book? I know you're all about empowering women, but what is it about the writing marketing book that you think is unique in its facet with you?
Well, my marketing book takes you through every stage of your marketing. Yeah, and it talks about how to do it from A to Z, but it's not an A to Z, but that's an example. But it also helps you with marketing plans. It helps you to start. It's got exercises through it that will help, and it literally talks about every single way that you can market a book. For example, I give the example of when I started writing. I literally had not written not one word of my first novel, and I started to market my book. And I wrote a blog saying, I'm going to write a book. And people were putting in it, where can I buy it? Nowhere yet. Written it yet. I said in the blog, I'm going to write a book. And I'm all about building up a buzz. and building up networks and building up a platform. And it's networking. I talk about networking a lot in it, and it's talking, for example, you know, so I was in a Facebook group and somebody said that you were interested in interviewing authors. I contacted you and said, are you interested? And it's about being nice. It's about approaching people and getting out there and getting known. And it's also about delivering quality. It's delivering good books, but it's about writing more books. People in the midst of all the marketing endeavors forget that it's series sell. I talk about that. I talk about the series. I talk about social media and how to use it. I talk about actually physically going out and doing book signings, how you can get book signings, doing talks. I do talks everywhere. It's building up public speaking. I did an 8-week tour of the States last year, and I was doing talks. I was speaking at conferences. I've spoken at BoucherCon in Canada and in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just putting yourself out there and seeing what happens. I also talk about Amazon ads and Facebook ads and all the paid ways as well. But I talk about a lot of free, because very often we get fixated on the paid stuff and people go, I can't market, I can't afford it. But I also, for all these things, I talk about how to do it appropriately. Because if I had a penny for everybody that suddenly contacted me and gone, I've just brought a book out, so I've joined Facebook and I don't know how to get it out, and tell me how I can sell my books. So I say, well, first of all, be nice to people and tell them a little bit about yourself. I don't want to tell them anything about myself. I just want to sell books. Well, it's called social media for a reason, not marketing media. Yeah.
Very true.
In the book, I talk about how to do it appropriately, how to build up a platform, things like that.
So do you have a narrator that does all that? Like, if they actually, are you in Audible yet, or are you just in paperback?
I'm not on Audible yet. I'm not on Audible for my fiction books for a reason, but I'm in the process of sorting that out. It was because it's narrated by someone who I haven't managed to get the first book yet. It's not her fault, it's just been circumstantial. But that's been sorted out. But I can't, but I'm actually thinking of narrating my, if I can hold my accent together long enough to narrate my non-fiction books.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. That would be great. Because that's actually from the writer. I don't think that would come from anybody else. I don't think it would ring true.
No, my non-fiction books are very much in my voice. And people say when they read it, oh, Wendy, I could tell it was you.
Right.
Because it's a bit of fun. I tell about my own story. I give examples. And I say things like, you know, now you've got to write it in big writing and put it above your desk. I am an awesome writer. Well, I would say it like that, you know, and people can hear me say it like that if they know me. But that wouldn't come across if somebody else read it.
Right. And so the mysteries, I mean, do you think that mystery is really your specialty, or is it more the children's book with Nancy Drew meets Scooby-Doo?
I think all of it. The young adult Scooby-Doo ones, Scooby-Doo, Nancy Drew ones, and the picture books came about by accident. And because my adult books, the murder mysteries and the humorous crime, were doing so well, a publisher approached me and asked if I would like to write some young adult mysteries. And I said yes. And then she said, well, pitch them to me. I was like, I think it's something.
You asked me.
Yeah, I pitched it to them. I pitched it to them, and they were a lovely publisher, lovely publisher, and they accepted it, and I signed a 3-book series. But they've moved back to Australia, so they've given me the rights back, but it's been picked up by another publisher, so it's in the process of being rebranded. But I love doing that because it's different. It's for younger children, but I love writing the adult mysteries. I really do love writing them. The children's picture book is amazing. That came about by accident as well. The little buffalo ran away of his own accord and was missing for 14 days. Everybody in the world was looking for this buffalo. There was kids in America, Australia saying, has this buffalo been found yet? He was a baby. Anyway, the BBC got involved and they called him Bert. And then Christmas, and I'm busy at Christmas because I'm usually doing book signings. Right. And somebody said on Facebook, oh, Wendy Jones will do it. And I was like, What's she volunteering me for? It turned out it was to write a picture book about a buffalo. And I went, yeah, okay. I just carried on with my life, thinking that'll be the end of that one. Anyway, it turned out that the buffalo farm approached me and said, look, you were professional. We'd like you to do it. Would you do it? So I said, if I got a publisher, thinking that'll be the end of that one, I'll never get a publisher. And I did get a publisher. Yeah, so there we go.
You have a you have a comment that just came through.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Wendy, you do kids' books now. I might have to buy one for the kids. Oh, Reagan, of course, yes. We'll sort it out for you. We'll get one for the book. We'll get books sorted out for you. And a colouring book as well. As a colouring book and a fluffy toy to go with it. So Bertie the Buffalo has merchandise. He's got a cuddly toy and a colouring book.
You'd have been a hell of a street pharmaceutical rep here in
Yeah.
the States. So you are hilarious. I love it. So you know, for you, do you think that paperbacks are dying out, or do you see what do you think you're seeing over there in Scotland?
I think there's room for both. Because there's always going to be people that like physical books. And let's face it, if you have a power cut for 6 days, you ain't going to have your Kindle for very long if it was dying anyway. So you always need paperback books.
Right.
So paperback books are here to stay. I don't think, on hardbacks, they're not going to disappear. I think there's a balance. Because people love reading. They will always read paperback books, but they will read Kindles as well. Kindles have their uses. Kindles are great for when you're falling asleep at night because you don't need a light on. Yeah? Kindles are great if you're traveling because you can take... I was always I'm not having a Kindle, I'm not having a Kindle, I'm not having a Kindle. I don't believe in them. And then I went to Cambodia for 3 weeks for work. And it was just after they'd stopped you taking too much in your luggage, you know. And... my cousin had a Kindle for Christmas, and he said, I don't know what to do with this. I said, well, give it to me. I'll put some books on it and take it to Cambodia with me. I was converted for travel because it's just so easy. Because carton books around Cambodia would have been a heavy business.
Yes.
But Kindle wasn't, yeah? So... but paperbacks, I love paperbacks. If you came to my house, you would understand I love paperbacks. If I was in my office, you would know I love paperbacks. I'm in my sitting room, so I haven't got bookcases behind me. In my office, I must have about, and I'm not exaggerating, 10,000 books in my house. I am not exaggerating. Seriously. I have so many books, yeah? And I also have Kindles. I have 2 Kindles. In fact, I think I've got 3 Kindles, but one of them doesn't get used much anymore.
Now, see, you're the first Scot that has the last tribe. And I was joking with my my business partner, Haim Holtier, out of Holland, that your country and his country probably know more about the Constitution of the United States than people here do.
Well, I haven't read it yet, but I will be.
It's the Audible, so you know, I can also send you the Kindle.
I like audiobooks as well. Audiobooks are great in the car, or they're great on train journeys when you want to tune people out. You can listen to an audiobook, or if you're out running or walking, you know, you can listen to an audiobook.
I have to keep rewinding it, so it doesn't work. Well, that's dating me, isn't it? When I say rewinding, I have to make it go back. Yeah, you caught it.
I don't know what you call it these days. I would say
press back. I don't know. Press the button. I
don't even do that. You just move your slider, don't you?
Yeah, I grew
Move
up on
your
8-track.
back.
Yeah, I grew up on 8-track, so that's
8 tracks. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm a little older than I look.
There'll be people listening here who've never heard of 8 tracks.
That's very true. It's a dead art, just like CD.
Yeah, it really is.
We'll leave it
I know what you're talking about, but I've never used one.
So, are you ready for the 11 rapid fire Ooowee questions?
Am I ready for the what? Sorry, can you say that again?
So, here on this show, we have what's called the 11 rapid fire Ooowee questions. You're on the Ooowee Chronicles. So these are rapid fire, off the cuff, return with your answer. And this should be a blast. As funny as you are, we should be having a great time. Okay.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Are you favorite flower? We're going to start off easy.
Sunflower.
A sunflower. That's an original answer on the Ooowee.
Ooh.
Not bad. All right. Arsenal or Manchester United?
Arsenal, because I had a friend who loved Arsenal. He's dead now, but he loved Arsenal.
Okay.
So I have to be Arsenal.
All right. Let's see. If Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny were in a burning building, who would you save?
Santa Claus.
No hesitation.
I'm a Christmas girl. I like Christmas.
All right. Favorite favorite football team?
Dundee United.
Dundee United.
Oh, no, I'd better say Dundee, or in case any of my relatives are listening. Dundee or Dundee United. Oh, heavens, I'm going to be in serious trouble now.
Haggis and tea or haggis without tea?
Haggis with what, sorry?
Tea or haggis without tea?
Haggis with tea.
Haggis with tea. And what type of tea?
Scottish breakfast.
Scottish breakfast. This is a coffee drinking country. Most of us that don't touch tea. Is that a spiced tea or is that more of a relaxing chamomile tea?
It's neither. It's tea with tannin in it. It's proper tea.
It's proper tea. So
none of this fancy stuff.
do you put the kettle on or do you use a automatic kettle?
I've got an automatic kettle. Well, I put it on. I have to switch the switch to make it automatic. But yeah.
Do you put it in the tea kettle and heat it on the stove, or is it automatic?
It's electric. It's not on a stove.
When you came to the States, did you bring your stateside charger versus your European standard charger because it's a different voltage? Did you bring a standardized American charger with you?
Nope. I brought a travel charger that converted it for everything, and I brought about 9 leads with me. I'd have been cheaper buying them there. They probably weighed more in the suitcase.
What do you call a cigarette in slang in Northern Scotland?
A fag. I know. But you did ask, and I know something totally different in America.
I just had to check. It doesn't mean what it says here. Let's just put a PSA out there, okay, folks? We are getting world traveled now. So, what was your favorite city in the States when you toured?
That's a really tough one because I love the States, but I love all the cities I've been to. But I have to say two. Charleston and New Orleans. New Orleans.
Yeah, okay. Well, it's a little bit different today. Were you here last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little different today.
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit more charged today. Things are getting a little out of hand right now for November.
Of course, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
It's getting a little testy out here. Yeah. So you say you wish you were in Virginia. I wish I were in Scotland some days.
All right. I'm meant to be in Virginia as we speak, but I'm not. So.
Really? Where do you come in when you come into Virginia?
I'm meant to be in the States at the moment on a 10-week book tour.
Yeah.
And I was speaking at Hampton Roads Writers Festival and another festival, and I was going to CPE, which is Nutrition Products Expo. And
that's where I live.
I'm speaking somewhere else, and I've forgotten.
I'm in Hampton Roads.
Are you? Well,
yeah.
I was speaking. I'm the keynote speaker next year. Come to the conference.
Awesome. I'll be there. I will so be there. Awesome.
I'm the keynote speaker next year. It should have been this year, but it's been delayed by a year.
Yeah, I think next year might be a better idea for you. When it's kind of going into overdrive, it's kind of getting there. I don't think CNN is really covering as extensively bad as it is getting now.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it gets pretty
much about it here in Britain yet.
Yeah. Well, you guys had your faux pas a couple of years ago that kind of just kind of went insane there too, right?
But hey.
Yeah. Hey, what are you gonna do? It's life.
You just have to get it.
Have you been to California?
I have, yes. I've been to Los Angeles and San Francisco. I've also been to Hawaii.
Okay, where is the littlest podunk state that you've ever been where you went, well, it's the same size as Scotland?
I don't know, because when I was 21, I did my final exams for my nurse training, and the next day I flew to the States into New York, and I went all the way down to Miami on a tour. So I went through several states, and I don't know which states I was in or which is the smallest. Or Maryland is probably the smallest state I was in, and I don't know how big that is. I was there last year as well. I was doing a book signing there.
You just show up, you're like, hey, publicist, what state am I in? Oh,
I know it was.
well,
Seriously. Every day I said, where am I? What town am I in? And my friends are going, Wendy, you're in Maryland. And honestly, they all had the same names. When I got down south, they all had the same names. They all had a green in them somewhere or a Ville in them somewhere. And I'm like, where am I? Nashville. Nashville was awesome. I loved Nashville.
Nashville's cool.
The most exciting moment in my life, can I tell you, if you don't mind?
Sure.
Was when I was in Nashville and I went to the Grand Ole Opry, and I'm sat there listening to all these people, and I love country music, so I was beside myself with excitement. And just before my favorite person ever came on, whose name has completely skipped my mind right at the moment, but he's a country singer and he's also a Christian. But before he came on, they announced, and in the auditorium tonight, we have Wendy H. Jones, an author from Scotland, and her publisher. And I went, what? Sorry? I was like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting.
I'm just here for the show, but hey, do the little queen wave. How are you?
And of course, we screamed, and everybody's looking at us, and somebody went, oh, in front of us went, oh, I'm from Scotland. I live here now. But the best bit was they were from Dundee. That was the best bit. The people in front of me were from Dundee, but they lived in the States.
Can you explain the Glasgow smile to me as a mystery crime writer, as the crime capital, murder capital of where you live?
I know what a Glasgow kiss is. Is that what you mean?
No, is that the Glasgow kiss?
Yeah, a Glasgow kiss is when you batter somebody on the head with your head.
Oh, no. The Glasgow,
No.
The Glasgow smile. Tommy.
Oh, the Glasgow smile, where you cut their throat, of course. Yeah. Where they cut their throat. Yeah. There's a Glasgow kiss and a Glasgow smile.
And then you've got the one that Tommy, he played in Braveheart. He's the Scot. He's got the long scars that connect his mouth.
Oh, yeah. That's hey, there's all sorts happens in Glasgow.
We don't do that in Dundee.
I love Glasgow as well, in case any of my friends from Glasgow are listening. I love you all. So, I love everybody everywhere in the world.
So I knew this would be a fun live. That's why I made sure I came back and did it. So Wendy, we got about 15 minutes left. Can you tell me where everybody can find your stuff? If they're trying to get requested signed paperbacks, these type things, do you offer those on a website, those type things?
I do. I have a website, which is wendyhjones.com. And I've got to tell you, don't forget the H in the middle of my name, even if you use my email, because I'm Wendy at Wendy H. Jones, or if you're looking me up on Amazon, do not forget the H in the middle of my name, because I'm Wendy H. Jones. The reason for that is there's another author called Wendy Jones, and trust me, she doesn't write the same books as me, and we'll leave it there. Okay? You need the Wendy H. Jones.
It's a creepy night in Dundee.
Yeah. So it's wendyhjones.com is my website. You can find me in all good bookstores anywhere in the world. You can get me in Barnes and Noble. You can go in and order my books. My suggestion to you would be, if you want a signed copy and you're not in Britain, don't get it from my website, because I've discovered it actually costs more to post the books to the States than it does the cost of the books. Now, people have bought them and they've paid the money for the postage. That's not a problem. I'm happy to sign it here and do it for the postage. The cheapest way to do it is get it from Barnes and Noble or Amazon or somewhere, and then email me and I'll get with your address, and I'll post you a signed book plate with whatever you want written on it.
Right.
That's the best way to do it.
But
And
if
you
they
can
actually
contact.
want to, but you come do tours of the States every year?
Yeah, I'll be back next year. I've done 2 now, but I do come to the States quite a bit. I come to BoucherCon when I can. But I was coming back next year to do, because I was invited to speak at conferences. And I was also invited to do book signings at various bookstores. So I'll be back next year from the 3rd of August until roughly the 3rd of August. I haven't booked it yet. It was meant to be the 3rd of August this year, so the middle of October.
Okay.
That was because it was bookended by conferences.
Right. And do you mean writing conferences or professional business writing, marketing conferences?
Right. There were writing conferences and also conferences for readers.
Okay. All right. And do you have a
Yeah.
Facebook group that you usually entertain or talk to?
A Facebook page, which is Wendy H. Jones. I've got the Wendy H. Jones Readers Group. I have, it's called Mastering. I was going to give you the wrong name then because I changed the name of the group when my new book came out. It's called Marketing Matters for Writers. That's the Facebook group if you want marketing hints and tips. I'm also a writing and marketing coach. You can get a free 20-minute coaching session on writing or marketing or both. If you go to my website, and on my website, which is wendyhjones.com, if you click on writing and marketing, so you can either do wendyhjones.com/writing-marketing, writing-and-marketing. That will get you to there. You can get a free writing and marketing book, and you can book in a 20-minute free coaching call via Zoom.
Okay, cool. Excellent. So you provide coaching as well.
Yeah.
And in your opinion, do you have a lot of book reviewers there in Scotland?
We have a lot of book reviewers here in Scotland. Excellent, outstanding book reviewers. One that I can highly recommend, and she also organises book tours, is Kelly Lacey. She's amazing. If you look up Kelly Lacey on Facebook, you will find her. It's Love Books. It's Love Books is what hers is called. So if you find her, I'm trying to think of some others. Oh, another fabulous lady called Louise Cannon. If you find her, she does amazing review blog on her blog. Very thoughtful, very extensive. We have really good bloggers over here, really good.
Yeah, I really want to get over there to actually see it. I mean, you're well known on the Isle, and becoming more potent here. It's kind of crazy, and so I'm going to talk to you offline on IG back and forth. But we've got RavenCon here. We've got Terry. Sword Genre, Terry Brooks, he's coming next year to RavenCon. That's my local con in Hampton.
Wow.
Yeah, so Terry will be there, but I'll put you in touch with Mike, and we'll be able to get you in on the billet.
That'd be fabulous. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
when does that happen?
April, first week of April.
Oh, April. Okay,
yeah.
That's in nicely because April is also. What's the cozy mystery? Malice Domestic. Which is
who wrote that?
Domestic. Have you heard of that one?
Mm-mm.
That's a cozy mystery conference. And I mean, I've got a cozy mystery series that my humorous crime book's more cozy than the other one's gritty, yeah?
Yeah.
Malice Domestic's in April as well. And it's the person that's one of the people I know that's on there, a brilliant cozy mystery writer called Sean Riley Simmons. She does a lot of the marketing and things for that, and she's on the board. She is in Virginia as well.
Okay.
Domestic happens near Washington or in Washington.
Okay. I know a lot of us are going to be doing what's called the Atlanta Kickback when COVID stops. It's more of a African American demographic at the kickback, but I'd
Yeah.
like to get a group of folks down there. We can all just hang out and have a good time. A
Mhm.
lot of my readership is out of Georgia, so I'm trying to get down to Georgia. So.
Oh, right. I was meant to be going to Georgia this year as well. I was hoping to do a book signing with some friends I've got down there.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that it's the market's saturated in fantasy, but romance and mysteries are just like a huge epic
Yeah.
genre, and it's just so many people that you just sit there and you go, wow, I can't even, in such a small country, you throw a rock and you hit a writer,
Yeah.
and in this area, well, we're a little bit better here, but in the Midwest, man, you throw a rock and you hit a buffalo before you hit a writer.
Yeah.
Or the water buffalo that you were partying with, or whatever happened there. I don't know.
Water buffalo. Yeah, everybody needs a fluffy water buffalo.
Everybody needs.
He wore his kilt to come to America last year. A water buffalo and a kilt came with me.
Oh, God. You gotta be kidding me. All right, so we're almost out of time, but I'll definitely give you a hit up on DM right after this.
That'd be fantastic.
We'll do this will go up on the pop-up series, and let me know if there's any other Scots that want to come on here and talk about haggis.
I will do.
All right, so I appreciate you coming on the Chronicles.
Get some names for you.
Yeah.
What do you mind what they write? Is it just crime or
Who? Anybody?
yeah, the writers? Would you rather it was just crime writers or
Everybody. I don't care
everybody?
if you wrote a yoga book.
Okay, I will definitely get some people to you.
Excellent. So we're gonna wrap up the show, but I'm gonna hit you up on IG real quick after this. But I do appreciate Wendy H. Jones, not the without H. You might get a totally different Wendy Jones experience there.
Yes.
Probably not a cozy mystery.
No.
I'll just put it at that. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and we're gonna have you on again. Would you be interested if I could get a bunch of folks together to do like a Zoom virtual book fair with writers, just a whole bunch of panelists, and people can just tune in? Would you be down for that? Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. I think I got an idea.
Me.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, I had a great time, Wendy. I appreciate you coming on. So, yeah, I'll hit you up here in a few minutes.
Yeah, take care.
All right. Thanks, dear.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, guys. So we are clipping out, and I appreciate you stopping by on the Chronicles. And we usually do pop-ups, and if you're interested in coming on, go ahead and pop up, and we'll put you on the show. Thank you.